Hey everybody, come on in, come on in, come on in. It is so good to see everybody. So God bless you. So great to see all of you. I'm gonna say some names: Batty Souter, David Green, Deborah, Aisha Verzi. Aisha is a big supporter of the Black Business School. Bless you, sister. I see Errol from Pompano Beach. My brother, good to see you again. Deborah Jones. Let's see, Deb White. Who else? Elaine Jackson. What's some other names in here? Let's see. Let me just shout out the city you're from, by the way. Denise Mitchell, Devora Danielson. Uh, let's see here. Justin Pender from NYC. Always love seeing Justin. Let's see. James Bogart, James Saunders. I'm in the J's right now. Eric Neverson. Tanya Thompson says hello. Hey, Uncle Boyce. Hey, Nisi. How you doing, Nisi? Let's see. Juanita Sky. Good evening. Good evening to you too. Hello, everybody. Lawrence from Prosper, Texas. I see Deborah. Good to see you. And Elaine Jackson, I appreciate you as well. Thank you. Mirtha out of Florida. Good to see everybody. All right, so so I'm gonna get into it. So you know that tonight the reason we're gathered is to listen to the distinguished brother who is who's honoring us by visiting in the Black Business School. His name is Jay Cameron, and he is well traveled, super experienced. He is shout out to all the just the intelligent Black men, right? I know he ain't dribbling basketballs or busting raps. But we need the world to know that many of our greatest men are not the men you will see on TV, but they are the men who are and women who are changing the world. And Jay is in that category. He's actually exposing our people to something that I've talked to you guys about extensively about broadening your mind, thinking big, thinking global, really getting out there. And I'm gonna tell you what, if you want to understand, the purpose behind all of this, it is the fact that we know that not everybody agrees with Black people growing and expanding, right? Dr. Claude Anderson. I don't know if you know about this, Jay, but every Wednesday night we do Powernomics training, and we read Dr. Claude Anderson books, Black Labor, White Wealth, Powernomics, etc. And one thing that he talked about is the effort to keep our people kind of small minded, uncompetitive, and constantly in fear, not sticking together, things like that. And you see this out in the world, and not to even start this on a somber note, but I got to be honest with you all. My heart was a little bit sunk because one of the members of the B1 community, a sister named Robin Simpson, who spoke at our convention in 2019, was literally last week murdered by her husband in front of their child. And the 8-year-old daughter had to watch this whole thing happen. And it was one of those things where, it just really made me that much more determined to battle against the challenges in our community, the mental health issues, things like that. And first off, I have to say, just giving Ashe and a blessing to Robin and her family. I have to acknowledge that. I don't want to make everybody down, today, but we gotta just celebrate the sister's wonderful life, and also at the same time, it reminds us of what we are fighting against. Right, we're fighting for our families, we're fighting for our people, we're fighting for our children, and fighting for a better world. And so, without further ado, I'd like to introduce Mr. Jay Cameron. How you doing today, brother?
How's it going, Dr. Boyce? It is a pleasure to be here with Black Business School, and it's an honor to be able to share, one at the convention, but also to come back and share again. And as you talked about thinking big, really that's what this is all about. And I want to thank everybody for joining us tonight. Going to share with you some great information that's going to help you think big.
Yes, yes, absolutely. And let me tell y'all, how many of y'all were at the convention? Give me a yes in the chat if you were at the convention. If you haven't been to the convention, you got to come. It's an amazing family reunion. Ask anybody who's been there. I'm just gonna don't even ask me, because I'm probably gonna be biased because I just love it. But ask anybody else who was there; they will tell you that it's worth it. It is a breath of fresh air, and let me just tell you, it's part of what makes it amazing is having great speakers like Mr. Cameron. And Jay went up there and gave a presentation that just knocked my socks off, and it was super impressive. And I said, okay, I'm really excited about this partnership because you guys have been asking us about this for years, to do some sort of group trip abroad. I'm going to be on this trip. My wife is coming as well, and Jay's going to tell us about it. So Jay, let me ask you this before you get started with the presentation. What got you into global travel, and what has that really done for you in terms of growth and things like that?
Well, I got into global travel when I took a trip to Africa, went to Ghana, and I discovered all the different things that I was taught that were not necessarily true or they were one sided, they were skewed in a negative direction. And it just started, once I saw that much of what I've been taught in this system here in the U.S. was inaccurate. It just kind of led me down this rabbit hole, and I've been opening up more and more and more. And I felt a responsibility. I said I have to take this back and share it with my people, because if I don't and keep it to myself, then I'm now no longer a part of the solution. I'm a part of the problem. And so that's all started in 2018, going to the continent for the first time. And so now we create these amazing experiences, and excited about this partnership as well.
Yeah, man. I'll tell you, I feel bad for people that don't travel. I really do. And it's like you can, some folks you can kind of tell them about it, and maybe they can't see what you see. They can't see
Yeah.
what you saw. And so they just, when people folks just miss it, it's sad, because I know in Chicago, I mean, we got people in Chicago that haven't even been downtown before. I mean,
Yes, sir.
and and so it does something to your psyche. I know that when I realized the whole world was open to me, it made me less worried about what was happening locally or in my state or in my country. It let me know, hey, there's other places I can go and be happy. And the thing is that I think Africa is obviously wonderful. I've been there a few times, not as many times as you, of course, but I've been there a few times. And I'll tell you what, though, I've had great experiences in a lot of other countries. I just went to Europe this summer. People made fun of me because I was in Iceland and Denmark. They said, "Why are you over here, all them white folks?" I said, "Because I want to learn from everybody. I want to see how
Right.
everybody lives." And I'm gonna tell you, I feel very peaceful when I'm in a lot of these other countries, and a lot of the stressors that happen here just don't exist as much overseas, all the way down to the types of food. Over here, everybody's getting cancer. My mama and my dad, both of them this year. Right? Can't and just all these other things that are happening, gun violence, homelessness, a lot of these issues that exist here. Uh, it's not to say other countries don't have their problems, but they just have a different way of life with different values that I think people can appreciate. So let me ask you this, man. So what's in store for tonight? What are we gonna what are you gonna hit us with?
Well, I'm gonna hit you. I'm gonna take you back to the convention for those who weren't there, and share some of that, and really gonna talk about these hidden treasures in travel, because that's what I discovered, and I really discovered a whole new person I didn't know existed. I thought I knew myself when I was in the States, and then I went and I started traveling, and in particular on the continent of Africa. I discovered a whole new person. I discovered new opportunities. I discovered things that I didn't even know existed, but I also discovered why they were hidden from me,
Mm,
because if I didn't know, then somebody else could benefit from them and exploit, like Dr. Claude talks about, exploit my black labor for that white wealth. And so you find out a whole lot of things when you travel abroad from a global perspective, and that's why we want to expose it to our community, so that we can partake of what our ancestors on both sides of the Atlantic Ocean left for us. And so when you see it, it's a fascinating story, and we want you to be a part of it, and we're going to show you how to be a part of it tonight.
all right, all right. Well, you know what I'm gonna do? I'm going to do the most important job I could do, which is to shut up and let this man talk. So he's all yours, everybody, and ask any question that you have. Talk to each other, and enjoy the presentation. Thank you guys for hanging out with us, and y'all know y'all see me real soon. So good luck, man. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Boyce. All right, everybody, we're getting ready to go on an adventure. And I want you to put on your seatbelts. I'm going to take it old school style. I say put on your seatbelts and get ready for the ride, because this journey is one that, if it does not inspire you, I don't know what to say. I'm a regular brother from D.C. I grew up in D.C. I was born in South Carolina. I'm Gullah Geechee, born in Charleston, South Carolina. And but I grew up in Washington, D.C. during the 1980s, when D.C. was known as murder capital of the world. And so with that, my vision was limited because of the environment that I was in. So now, we're going to go into this. We're going to talk about the hidden treasure and the benefits of traveling to Africa as a Black American. And at the end, I'm going to also share with you a free gift, and how you can partake of that, a free ebook. And then I also want to ask you if it's okay with you if I share with you how to partake of these hidden treasure. I want to, and if it's okay, hold tight. I'm going to show you how to do it. So real quick, my name is Jay Cameron. I'm an entrepreneur. I'm a speaker. I'm a playwright. I'm an author. I'm an event producer. I'm a coach. I've been featured on these different media outlets, international media outlets. My commitment has been to our community and educating our community for more than 25 years. And so now when I started learning more internationally, it prompted me to go to the continent of Africa. Ghana was my first country. Tanzania was my second country. I climbed to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. I've seen the world from the top of the mountain. And I didn't go up the rough side either. Well, it was a little rough getting up there, but I got to the top. So been to 23 different African countries since 2018, 43 total countries, got a children's book series, and also over on YouTube, we have our YouTube channel that is doing its thing right about now. Now, with this said, the hidden treasure, the benefits of traveling to Africa as a Black American. And the reason why I say as a Black American is so important, because when I was growing up, there were a lot of boundaries. And there weren't physical boundaries so much, but they were psychological boundaries. As I shared, I grew up in the Washington metropolitan area. We affectionately know it as the DMV. As a matter of fact, I happen to be in the DMV right now. 2 days ago, I was in Ghana. Here I am in the DMV. But that boundary right there is where, just like Dr. Boyce was referencing a few minutes ago, where there's so many of us that live within these invisible boundaries. We stay on our block, we stay in our hood, we stay in our county, we stay on our road, and we don't venture out. Because for many of us, we've been conditioned to live in fear of what's outside of those boundaries. If you go out there, something bad is going to happen to you. So stay within these boundaries and don't go too far, because if you go too far, something bad is going to happen to you. So throughout life, I spent the majority of my days doing the same thing, week after week, going to school, weekend comes, doing the same thing on the weekends. Before you know it, the years started piling up. During the summertime, I might venture down to Charleston, South Carolina, Somerville area, Low Country, South Carolina. But it was the I-95 corridor for most of my life. And then as I grew out of my teenage years and moving into adulthood, I called myself becoming a little adventurous. I went up to Toronto. Yeah, I did. Went down to Miami, went over to New Orleans. I think I might have hopped out to California one time. But, I thought I was doing something. I was, hey, I'm traveling. I'm making moves. I'm that guy. But I was still afraid to cross that water. I was afraid to really venture out of the areas. And the unfortunate thing is that I was listening to a lot of people who had that same mentality. No, you better not go. You better stay here. But if you go too far, something's bad. Just know that, this is what's happening. They're doing this over there. They're doing that over there. And I couldn't see how they were doing a lot of the same things in my own neighborhood. But because I was familiar and I was used to it, I didn't see it as a problem, or I didn't see it as danger. So for years, more than 20 years, this was how I lived. I was afraid to get on planes. I was afraid to do anything. So of course, if I could drive there, then I was good. But I decided in the late 90s that I was going to venture out and go down to the Caribbean. I was going to get on a cruise and go see the islands. And I love the islands. I love that part of the world, some of the most beautiful waters you'll ever see. But that was pretty much the extent of it. That's where I would go. That's what I did. And I was pretty much content with that. That was until I would say as I was getting a little bit older and I realized that I hadn't been anywhere, but I would hear other people say that they had traveled all over the world. They'd been to Europe, Asia, South America, Australia, even Antarctica, but they had never been to Africa. And I would hear a lot of what we know as African Americans saying this and how, I was in China, I was in Bali, I was in Indonesia, I was in Malaysia. But you say, hey, you want to go to Africa? Oh, no, I'm not going there. I'm not going there. Okay, why would I go there? What's there for me to even see? And so for me, I thought like that for a long time. And then I hit a point in my life and I said, you know what? I've never been to the continent of Africa. And I went on Google Earth and I scanned over Google Earth and I said to myself, I need to look and see what's going on. And when I scanned over and looked in Google Earth, and when I looked down and I saw all of these swimming pools and I saw these nice homes, and that's when I knew something was wrong with how I was thinking. And I said, it is now time for me to take this first step. And that's what I did. Little did I realize that what was about to happen was going to change the trajectory of my life. And I was going to discover these hidden treasures. Now, I tell you this because for those of us who grew up around that, now some of us didn't. Some of us had very adventurous families to grow up in, or progressive. I use that word very loosely and carefully, but families who were willing to travel to places outside of the U.S. or places that most people wouldn't go to. So some of us had those families, but for a lot of us, we didn't have those families, whether it was resources or what we perceived as resources or lack of resources, or really in many cases, it was just mindset, priorities, and all of those things kind of coming together. But when I got past that and broke those boundaries, I crossed that ocean, and when I landed and I put my feet on African soil for the first time, one, I realized that there was a connection. Two, I realized that it had taken me too long to get there. Three, I realized that I had a responsibility to share this with others, because I know that there were so many others. When I first started talking about going, there were people mocking me and laughing at me. And why you want to go there? I can't believe. Why don't you go somewhere else? Why don't you go to London? And I've been to London. I love London. It's one of my favorite cities. But also Lagos is one of my favorite cities, and Accra and Cairo and Nairobi, some of my favorite cities, because I was willing to go and see. And so that's the thing that happened. Now my mind is opened. I travel and I looked and I said, it's now time for me to do something different. So within these boundaries, and I want everybody to kind of think about this for yourself. We do the same thing day after day, week after week, year after year. And before we know it, our lives are over. Or we think that we can get to the end of our journey and suddenly say, you know what? I'm going to go and start traveling the world. When we could have done it many years before. Now, let me say this. If you're later in life, now is the time to do it. But even if you're early in your life, now is the time to do it, because tomorrow's not promised. But here's the thing. Within those boundaries, like I said, we do the same things over and over. And it's like a repetition, and we don't even realize it's like a programmed repetition. And so with this, life passes us by so quickly. And then we start doing these bucket lists. That's on my bucket list, but we never get around to kicking anything off of the bucket list, and then we kick the bucket. So I realized this, and I said it was time for me to have a reboot. And when I had this reboot moment, I knew that it was up to me and no one else was going to do this for me. It was up to me to now reboot my life and to go and to put things into perspective, because if I didn't, and if I did not do this, what was going to end up happening is that my life was going to pass me by, and I was going to have a lot of things that I wished that I could have done, I hoped I could have done. And I said, now is the time, and I'm going to do it. So when I started talking about going to Africa, and I talked about this a second ago, everybody was talking about going to Europe and Asia. But then what about one of the 54 countries on the continent of Africa and all of the places with an abundance of people who look like me? Why wouldn't I want to go to those places? And these places are affectionately known as the African diaspora, in addition to the continent of Africa and the 54 countries. And I was so Africa illiterate, if you will, that I didn't even realize that Africa had that many countries. I'd talk about Africa as a monolith, like, oh, everybody over there does the same thing. Oh, yeah, over in Africa, without understanding the different complexions, the different ethnic groups, the different languages, the different cultures, the different currencies, so many differences that it was really embarrassing for me to even say, well, I didn't know that all of this existed. And I'm a full-grown man with the internet and everything. Because some people say, well, there's no excuse with the internet. But if it's not a priority, or if your culture, or if the boundaries that you're in don't emphasize it, then yeah, many of us can walk around thinking one way about this place without realizing that in that place, that's where the treasures really are. So when I started talking about going to Africa and I introduced this to my friends, then the excuses came, because I guarantee you, if I was talking about going to London, it wouldn't have been any excuse. If I was talking about going to Paris, no excuses. But when I started talking about going to Africa, then the excuses came. How long is the flight? How long is it going to take to get there? How many shots? And I was like, well, you don't need all those shots. What are you talking about? Because the other thing is, I used to think you needed like 10 shots to go. And I was like, so when you discover the truth, and you find out that a lot of information that we've been getting was bad information, then you stop and you say to yourself, Let me go and see for myself. And so, that's when everybody, well, I got to get my money together. And then I'll come when I get my money together. I knew in that moment that I needed to go. I couldn't wait for anybody else to get their money together. I had to do it in that moment, because if I didn't, I was going to miss an opportunity. I was going to miss a moment in life, but I didn't know what was about to happen. And if I didn't act on it in that moment, it would have cost me so much. How much would it have cost me to stay within these boundaries? And that's what I'm going to share with you. It would have cost me the hidden treasures. And that's what I don't want you all to miss out on. That's why we're here tonight talking to the Black Business School, because we want our community to be able to have this opportunity to go and share this experience. All right, so now here's some benefits of traveling to Africa, and I'll use Africa monolithically in this particular context. Benefits of traveling to Africa as a Black American. Well, here's one benefit. The simple fact that because of the entertainment industry, we have been broadcasted across the continent of Africa in a positive and negative light, just depending on how it goes. So when I go, I get a lot of respect. I don't deal, and when I say this, meaning you deal with issues on an individual level at times, but by and large, overall, I get a lot of respect. I'm treated exceptionally well. And as soon as they hear my American accent, and I say that, they hear my accent, it goes back to what they've seen on those satellite dishes that are on just about every building, every house, everything that you can think of. There's a satellite dish. Now, the benefit is that there's a level of respect that comes. And with that level of respect, then you don't deal with some of the things that we might be familiar with here in America. I haven't dealt with overt racism or ethnic discrimination, if you will, in the different places that I've traveled to on the continent of Africa. Now, the other benefit to traveling to Africa as a Black American is how it opens you up as a person. And I shared this at the convention, and I'm going to share it again tonight, because there are things that I didn't realize about myself. There are things that I didn't know. I didn't know that I was going to end up becoming a children's book author. I didn't know that I was going to end up writing the jingle for the children's book and the whole series and animated series and all these other things that came along. But if I stayed within the boundaries, I would have never had that experience. Now, I share this with you because I want you to think about perhaps what is on the other side for you. So now let's go back. I'm going to share with you just a little jingle that I wrote, and for the children's book series, you'll be able to hear and see, some of these skills that came out. So check this out real quick.
Open up your eyes, all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with daring and destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African. Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery. Take an African adventure with daring and destiny. From the mountains to the shore, so many things to explore. Take an African adventure with daring and destiny. Open up your eyes and see all the fun and mystery.
Wasn't even a part of, that wasn't even my mind. It wasn't even a part of what I was thinking about doing. When it came to the Adventures of Darren and Destiny, that wasn't even a part of anything when I was first planning my trip. And so what ended up happening is that I realized that, okay, here's something special our children need to learn. So it sparked some creativity. That's what I say for you. What could be over there? You never know. There are people who've gone and they've opened up complete businesses. They've gone and they've found their niche, and they've come back to the U.S., opened stores, they've opened online stores. And we talked to the Black Business School, and I want you to understand that the opportunities abound on the continent of Africa. And you can go to Zimbabwe, you can go to South Africa, you can go to Namibia, just naming some of the different countries. And who knows what's over there? When I go and I see or get on the plane going to Kenya and I see so many Europeans on the plane, I'm like, okay, they know something's going on over here. When I see busloads of people from China going into different parts of Africa, they know something's going on. But when it comes to us, for some reason it's been framed that we stay away. Don't go, because if we go, something bad is going to happen. And we don't want that. Well, no, you better not. It's bad over there. They're going to get you. They're going to get you. You better stay home now. Stay home. You better not go nowhere. I said, I can't be that person. Nope, I can't be that person, because I had ancestors who died on this side in the U.S. and I had ancestors who died in Africa. And that's the thing that you understand, that they were fighting just as hard on the continent to resist what was happening 500 plus years ago as those who were fighting here in the U.S. when they got here and were trying to free themselves and liberate themselves. And you find the similarities and you understand colonization and slavery and the connection, and you say, wait a minute, this story is much deeper. Then, and I'm just what I'm doing is I want you to start thinking about the different areas where it may spark something in you and in your mind. Okay, so then the next thing that came about is I didn't know that I was going to end up doing a documentary. And so here ended up doing a documentary about Tanzania. So these are the things that come. This is a hidden treasure. A hidden treasure. I would have never, if I never stepped outside of that boundary, I would not have produced this documentary about Tanzania. Getting ready to produce another documentary next month about Ghana. Traveling to Africa educates. You begin to understand how miseducated we are on so many different levels for so many different people. And so that's why it's so important. Education is a hidden treasure. So when you begin to learn things and understand who's been controlling how you've been thinking, and you begin to go to the origins of the things that you've been taught and begin to tear down this stuff and rebuild it, it does something for you as a person. You become more confident. And then it changes perspectives. For years, I was told, hey, those Africans don't like us over there. You know, those Africans don't like us. And then I go over there and I receive so much love, so much kindness. And again, friendships and relationships and opportunities that came because I was willing to get outside of these boundaries. Now, if anybody knows about those boundaries, type a 1 in the chat. If you know what these boundaries look like, staying in the same place, not going anywhere, kind of doing the same thing week after week. If you know about these boundaries, some of the boundaries are even smaller like this. If you understand what that's like, or maybe maybe you're the person who say, you know what, I've been all over the world, but I've never been to Africa. Or maybe you've been to Africa. I don't know. But it's just one of these things. If you understand what it's like and those boundaries, type a 1 in the chat. So traveling to the continent of Africa changes perspectives. And for me, and for so many other people, traveling to Africa built my confidence. I didn't climb mountains before, but I got to the top of Mount Kilimanjaro. And what that did was it prepared me. That happened in 2019. Little did I realize that the real mountain was coming in 2020. But because I'd climbed Mount Kilimanjaro in 2019, it prepared me for what happened in the world in 2020. And when the world was shut down, I was still, because I had the confidence, I was going back to the continent, laying the foundation, preparing the way for you to be able to come and have these travel experiences on the continent. That's what happens when you get outside of the boundaries. That's what happened when you say, and you are determined to do things differently and to begin to shatter these molds, shatter the molds and break through that. And that's what ended up happening. So next thing for a lot of people traveling becomes a form of therapy. And in particular, Africa has some of the most beautiful beaches, most beautiful landscapes, some of the best tasting food, some of the just amazing tranquility. And I will tell you, I'm from, like I said, I'm from DC. But when I go to the continent of Africa, I don't worry about getting shot. I don't worry about anybody running up in my home. I don't worry about carjackings. I don't worry about going to the mall and somebody just coming in there with an AK and just shooting the place up. These are things that I don't worry about anywhere I've been in Africa. And so there's a level of peace for me personally that comes from these experiences. And again, that's why we want you to have this experience as a part of B1 Voyages, because you're able to see for yourself. And there's nothing like learning and seeing for yourself. So with that said, how much would it cost me to stay within the boundaries? It would cost me all of this. Children's book series, documentaries, business opportunities, friendships that will last a lifetime. And now we want to be able to share this with you. And so what my question is, what hidden treasure awaits you in Africa? What hidden treasure awaits you on the continent of Africa? Now, I can't promise you anything other than the fact that I know that you'll have a great time. I know that you will go and you'll see things that you've never seen before. And I also know that at least the seed will be planted so that now when you come back home, You share with your family and friends, and they see you taking pictures in front of the pyramids, or they see you taking pictures with other people from the Black Business School. They see you now doing something different. This is how we destroy 500 years of abuse, miseducation, disinformation, intentional efforts to make sure that we're used as a permanent labor force in this country. This is how we tear it down, because now we're thinking globally. We're thinking from a global economic perspective and not just a local economic perspective. You can use both at the same time. You can work locally, but you can also work globally. And the way that when you get into this system and you start to understand how it works, now again it expands you economically. But if you only stay within the boundaries, and we're talking to Black Business School, $1.6 trillion we have at our disposal, our use, I should say, and we could take that and invest it. And we can build businesses here in the U.S., but we can also take it and build businesses in different parts of the continent of Africa, other places in the world. But it all begins with a shifting of the mind. And when the mindset shifts, the opportunities abound, the possibilities abound. So I'm going to show you one video here, and I want you to see what my journey looked like, but I want you to take me out, put you in, then I'm going to show you how you can join us on this B1 voyage. You're going to want to be there. I'm going to be there. Dr. Boyce is going to be there, and you're going to have a great time. But before we get to showing you that, let me just take you on a journey around what my life has looked like and what your life could look like if that is a part of your journey. Take a look.
Okay, earlier this Black History Month, we brought you Jay Cameron, and he brought his chef, his son, Jason Cameron.
Hello.
Welcome.
I've been wandering around in the dark, been lost somewhere with no light could shine on my heart. I've known a pain so deep, but I know my faith will free me, and I'll get through this. I'll find my way again. So don't tell me that it's over, 'cause each step just gets me closer. I will get there. I will get there. I will get there. I will get there somehow. Cross that river. Cross that river. Nothing's stopping me now. I will get through the night, and make it through to the other side. Get there, get there. I've been in these chains for so long. I've been free and I'll be there where I belong. Hold my head up high, I stand tall, and I swear this time I won't fall. I will do this, no matter what it takes, 'cause I know no limitations, and I reach my destination. I will get there. I will get there. I will get there. I will get there somehow. Cross that river. Cross that river. Nothing's stopping me now. I will get through the night.
This is oxhead.
Oh,
Yeah.
the head.
Yeah. Cow's head.
It's the real head.
Yes.
Okay.
Shining, and I feel it shine on me. I'll keep trying. I'll keep trying. I will get there. I will get there somehow. Cross that river. Cross the river.
Well. I wanted you all to see that. I saw the comments. I saw what everybody was saying. That is what happened when I stepped outside of the borders. And what I wanted you to do was to take me out of that and to put you in it. I can't say your story is going to be the exact same story, but I know so many people. You saw all the people waving, and those are people who joined us, and those are people who went back to the continent after this amazing one encounter. So just for you, let's just dream for a moment. I want us to take the moment to dream, and it doesn't matter how old or how young you are. We've had ages 3 to 93. We've had several people in their 90s. So I don't want you to stop and think for a second, oh, maybe I'm in my 70s and 80s and I can't go. Maybe I'm just past it. I'm going to have to catch it next time around. No, you can go. You can have this experience in your life. So this is what I'm going to share with you, and then we're going to move out your way. I'm going to answer questions if you have them coming up. So we want everybody to hold the questions for a moment. But Black Business School, it's time to go to the motherland. Y'all ready? Y'all excited? I can tell everybody's excited. You know, you've seen something and you recognize that now is the time to make this move. So stick around, and I'm going to move through this quickly, get to your questions, show you how you can sign up, because guess what? We are going. That's right. Journey to Africa with the Black Business School. Dr. Boyce Watkins, he's going to be there. I'm going to be there. It's going to be happening August the 4th through the 12th, 2024. We're going to Egypt. That's right. We're going to Egypt. Now, I'm going to address this right now because I know that the question is going to come up. We have folks on the ground in Egypt right now, and we've had folks on the ground over the past couple of months. And so I'm going to show you what they had to say about their experience in Egypt. And then we'll answer your questions. But just so you know, we're continuing to take people want to go. And so as long as we feel that it's safe for someone to go, we are going to be going. And take a look at this right here.
Good morning from Giza! Today is October the 11th, 2023. Egypt is so much fun. We've been in the city of Cairo, we've been to Hurghada, we've been to the beach, we've been horseback riding, and I don't feel it's great. No safety issues here. You should come.
I've been here a few extra days, so I've actually been here 11 days. I love it. Today's October 17th. We've been here, like I said, 11 days. Very safe. I had some family that was concerned, but I've never been worried. Everything is safe here. I can't wait to get back.
Hi everyone, my name's Noelle. This is my family. We are so excited to be here. We're in Aswan. It's absolutely beautiful. Taking a beautiful trip down the Nile. We've thoroughly enjoyed ourselves. Syed has been the greatest tour guide we could have had. He's informative. He laughs with us. He jokes with us. He makes it exciting. We love to be here. We've enjoyed ourselves. The food is amazing. The boat ride is amazing. We are safe and we are having a blast. Thanks for having us.
All right, just wanted to show you that real quick. Now, another question I know some folks are wondering, that when we go to Egypt, are we going to have the black experience or we're going to have the whitewash experience? This is the black experience. And that's one of the reasons why I believe Egypt is so important, because much of our history has been whitewashed when it comes to the history and the understanding of Egypt, Kemet, that part of the world. And so what we do is we make sure that you not only get the experience up by Giza and the pyramids, but you also get the Aswan, and that's where the Nubians are, and you get the black experience with the Nubians. I've been and seen in Egypt where you might not get that experience, but we have a very unique experience that we have curated exclusively for us when we get to Aswan, and I'll walk you through the itinerary shortly. But I also want you to see just a couple more people and their experience on the ground, and listen to the dates that they're telling you. Now, this is not 2 years ago. This is just the other week, all right? 2 weeks ago, right here, or right there in Egypt. Take a listen.
Hello, I'm Brandon.
And I'm Taisha.
We are here on October 23rd, 2023 in Egypt. We're here in Luxor. We're looking at the monument of the great Hatshepsut, one of the greatest pharaohs, and she was a woman, and she was fabulous. We are here at Karnak, at the Valley of the Kings and Queens. It's fantastic. It is beautiful. It is safe. We are here with Prince. He is fabulous. He's taken care of us and made us feel welcome and back home. Please come and visit this. You will be transformed forever. We've dined with the Sphinx. We've seen the pyramids. We've ridden the camels. And now we are here with the kings and queens feeling their energy. Come.
So do you believe about it's safe or not? We are in October 2023. How do you want to say that?
Go ahead.
We had our fears, we're not going to lie, but I think when we got here, we immediately felt comfortable. Everyone's been nice and supportive. There's been an armed guard with us at times, but we honestly haven't seen anything that made us feel unsafe. No demonstrations, none of that. So it's just been a great time.
We have been safe. We have been treated with nothing but hospitality and love from the soul. Please make sure you come and visit. The people are so nice. They do everything for us. Come and visit. Hello.
Yeah, and again, this is how we do this, all right? So we want everyone to understand that, one, if we deem that it's not safe for us to go, we're not going to go. I'm not going, you're not going, we're not going if we deem that it's not safe. So that's something that we're in constant communication with, and I'll explain to you even more. But that's, because those are the questions that are coming up. We want you to see people like us on the ground there and the experience that they're having in their own words. They're the ones who are telling you. They're the ones who made the investment. They're the ones who are there. They're the ones who are now bringing this information back to us. There are larger media forces that will try to bombard us with information. And, one of the things that's worked masterfully over the past 500 years is to be able to spook us into not doing things. But while they're spooking us, they're going behind us and, getting the resources or taking advantage of the opportunities. One thing that happened when I went to Ghana in 2018 and I saw how many Lebanese were there, how many Europeans were there, how many Asians were there, building their dreams, living their dreams. But the conversation in our community would be, we're afraid to go. And I said, well, how is it that we're so easily spooked, but everybody else can go without any hesitation? And they can go and build and live their dream. I'm telling you, living their dream in a way that they couldn't live in their home country, but they could do this in Ghana or in Nigeria or in Tanzania or in Egypt or in South Africa or in Cote d'Ivoire. So I said, for us, no. I said, when things are happening, we'll give everybody an opportunity to decide for themselves what they want to do. But what will not dominate us will be fear. And so, again, we're not going to be careless or foolish or irresponsible or inconsiderate. But what we will do is create the opportunities for those who want to go, just like everyone else. And that's something I know Dr. Claude would be proud of that, because just like when fear spooks everybody else, courage comes along and overrides it just the same way. And so that's one of the things I had to do in 2020. I said, hey, a lot's going on. But, on the other side of the courage is also opportunities. Take a listen to these sisters right here in their own words.
Okay, good morning. Good morning. We are on 24th of October 2023. We have two of our queens here. Could you please introduce yourself?
I am Jerry Taylor. I'm Cheryl Lorado.
So could you please... So could you tell us, please, how you found your experience in Egypt and how safe it was?
Absolutely wonderful. It's safe here. We had someone else with us, an armed guard, so we feel very safe, not threatened. People are pretty friendly. Food is delicious, and we feel safe. So I'm saying, come on, y'all, you need to come.
Yes, very safe. Not once did I feel like I was unsafe. So it is very safe for you to come and learn about our history and the culture of it all. It's mind-blowing. To miss it because you think something is going to happen. You're in the States. If this is going to the States, if you're there, you should be running over here because it's safer over here. We haven't seen any violence.
That's
okay?
right. That's right.
I will say that it's safe except when I'm with my people
go here. They are the scariest.
Oh, we're scary. Oh, did you just go there?
So
Wait till I tell you about
y'all
us doing her favorite, taking her pictures when she did that.
Oh, they cut your head off on pictures. That's scary. They are scary.
Oh my God.
But I love them.
Really? That's because she's going to need us to take another picture. It ain't happening, girl. It ain't happening. But come on. It's very safe.
So what you want to tell for Black Americans who want to come to Egypt on 2023 and they still worried? What's your message for them?
You know what? I would not allow fear to get in the way of a facade of people thinking that they're not going to be safe, because you are. And like my buddy Cheryl over here said, you're really missing out on your history, because a lot of us don't know our history, and this is a great place to start in terms of out of the United States to learn your history. You're missing out, guys. Please do not give up your opportunity to learn about your culture and yourselves and enjoy yourself.
What's your message for them?
My message is step away from the anxiety, put it behind you, because for most people, this is a bucket list trip. And to miss out on your bucket list trip is just you doing yourself a disservice. Don't do that. Take the plunge and come on.
What's your message, Loretta?
I will say that I have enjoyed it, and it is a privilege to actually be walking on the sacred grounds of all of these amazing kings and queens and pharaohs and all these things. It's beautiful. I feel like these are my ancestors, and I'm here to visit. Thank you.
Meshi?
There. Again, their words spoken so eloquently. They're on the ground. They were on the ground. They're back home now. Everyone that you saw who was there, they're back home. And so, again, I just share this with you because I want you to understand that we're thinking this through. We're not just jumping out here and throwing a trip out here for the sake of throwing a trip out here. There's a reason why we want you to have this experience. What Egypt did was brought so many aspects together for me and understand the historical context of much of how it influenced what's going on or what has taken place here in the U.S. But when you go to the pyramids and you're standing there and you're like, wow, this really exists, or the Sphinx, or you ride a camel, or you're eating some koshery, or you're just having that moment, or you're talking to someone and you're establishing a connection, because we understand when it comes to business, one of the best ways to establish a business is through networking. And so when we're talking about the Black Business School, and there are other people that may have what you need, but you might not know it yet because the connection hasn't been made. Sometimes, and I've met so many people from the U.S., from my area in D.C., I've met them on the continent of Africa. They would go over and I would say, well, where are you from? I'm from D.C. Really? I would never met them in D.C., but we met somewhere on the continent, in Egypt or in Tanzania or somewhere. And it's like, wow. And so this is bigger than a trip. And I think that's the thing that we have to understand. This is not just going on a trip to Africa. This is now establishing connections, being around like-minded people, and now you're looking for the hidden treasures. Because now you're going with a purpose. You're not just going, oh, man, I went to Egypt. It's like, no, there's something else over here. And you'll be looking with a different set of eyes. And you say, here's an opportunity. Maybe some people are looking to go and do some real estate investing. I don't know. I don't know what it is. But the opportunity and now is available to you to take advantage of it now. When I tell people all the time, I say, if I didn't take advantage of the opportunity to go to the continent of Africa in 2018 and 2019, and I pushed it back, then it would have set me back many years, because by the time 2020 came, that pushed things back even further. So sometimes when you get the prompting, it's time to move. It's time to make that decision. It's time to do it then, because when that door closes, it might not open again for a period of time. Here's someone, and this for our elders who may be wondering whether or not they should be going on a journey like this. Miss Ann, she went to Egypt, and here's her story.
Blessed to be. It's a real opportunity, the opportunity of a lifetime to be here on my first trip to Africa, my very first. I sincerely hope it will not be my last. I'm 72 years. It's an amazing opportunity, but I realized that for me to fully participate and be able to walk and do all of the walking and visit all of the pyramids and to visit the temples, I would have to be physically in better shape than I was. So I lost 32 pounds after I signed up. I started walking every day. My lab tests are phenomenal. My doctors at the lab actually wrote handwritten notes on it and said, "Girl, what are you doing? How do you do this? What's happening? It's better than it's ever been. We are so proud of you. Keep it up." It made me feel I'm not only competent to do this, but that I can do this. So I know that I can, and I have. I've walked all the way to the top of the pyramids and inside at Giza and the Great Pyramid, which was a challenge. You did have to walk uphill and bend over like this all part of the way. But it was worth it to say that I actually did that. You know, walking these distances is not an easy challenge, but if you prepare your body and prepare your mind and your spirit wants you to do it, don't miss out on this kind of opportunity for yourself. It will change your life in ways you never expected. It will make you realize what a magnificent heritage we have.
You know, that's something that, when Miss Ann shared and talked about how her health improved and how all of these different things happened is bigger than a trip. Now, she booked the trip and then she said, okay, I'm going to go. And she said, I need to do what I need to do. She said she lost 32 pounds, got her blood work together. Now she could have potentially extended her life, all because of taking advantage of a moment. That's all we're saying. It's a moment and taking advantage of it. And if we descend from the royalty, whether it's in Egypt or whether it's in West Africa or South Africa, when we operate with that ability and we operate with the strength that's been in us, somebody had to survive in order to make it across those waters. And whoever that first person was that made it, those first people that made it, they didn't understand what was happening, but they survived. And so as they survived, and we as their descendants and us returning back, there's something about that. Because it was never intended for us to return back anywhere on the continent. But now we're going back and we're learning and we're expanding our minds and we're expanding ourselves as people. Here's how Miss Ann addressed those who wanted to try to bring that fear thing around. That fear thing is serious, but this is what she had to say. I love Miss Ann.
They were afraid to travel to Africa, and why did I want to do that? I was like, why wouldn't you want to? And I think people were worried too because of my age and that they felt I was traveling alone, that I wasn't going to Africa with a family member or a spouse. They have become my family and friends. They have helped me every step of the way. I have a cane. They made sure that I was on level ground. They made sure that I didn't stumble. They made sure if I got tired, I had a place to sit. They watched out for me. If I was slower than everybody else, they still waited. They took care of me. These people have become my friends and family here in Africa. And for many of us, we are going to be neighbors and friends, I found out, back in the U.S. in a couple of years. I'm really excited about that because I'm going to be close to many of them and where they live now. So it's been an opportunity to make new friends from all over the United States. There's some people here from Canada, from all over the world, and it's the experience of a lifetime. You would not regret it if you took this opportunity for yourself. It's an investment in you. It's not an investment, that you think of in terms of money. It's an investment in terms of knowledge and spirit and hope and love for what we are as a people.
Thank you so much, Miss Ann. All right, let's get into the nuts and bolts of this. Why Egypt? The networking opportunities, the awakening, the sights, the food, the amazing pictures, and the simple fact that tomorrow's not promised. And that's what COVID taught us. Gentleman who traveled with us recently, his name is James, and he and his wife, they were preparing to travel to Egypt, and they were procrastinating, and then unfortunately she got sick and she passed away before either one of them made it to the continent of Africa, and they were not. She was not able to make it to Egypt, but he was able to make it to Egypt, later on. But he shared that story, and because of that, want everybody to be reminded tomorrow's not promised. And so with this, guess what? Who is this trip for? For you. It's that simple. It's for you. It's not for you to go ask permission for anybody else or anything like that, get agreement from anyone else. If you want to go, this trip is for you. Here's another question. Are there any vaccine requirements? No, not for Egypt. No vaccine requirements if you're coming from the U.S. Are these trips family friendly? They absolutely are family friendly. We've had family trips, the entire families come on a trip to Egypt. Do we offer payment plans? Yes, we do. Do we pair guests? No, we do not, for liability reasons. Is international airfare included in what we're going to share with you? Yes, it is. It is included in what we're going to share with you in a moment. Do they have vegan options for food? Absolutely. What kind of food do they have? They have Western food, so you'll have food that you're familiar with. You won't have any problems with the food. And they have local food as well. What languages do they speak? They speak English and Arabic, so there are no language barriers. How much extra money should you bring? Now, this is very conservative, only because the food is included. So because of that, you're not going to need a whole lot of extra. $300 to $500 minimum, but I watch people shop. You're going to shop. Any shoppers out there, type 1 in the chat. All the shoppers, type 1 in the chat. The chat should be all the way live. Is travel insurance automatically included? No, it is not, and we recommend you get purchasing cancel any reason option when you book your trip. The next thing is this. Again, we touched on this. I'm too old. I can't afford it. I'm afraid. Is it safe? My family doesn't want me to go. We've already talked about the fear factors. We've addressed it. One thing I know about us as a people, we do what we want to do, and we're very resourceful. We find a way to make it happen. We know how to get it done. So here's the itinerary. This is what it looks like. All right, it's going to be a 9-day adventure in Egypt. Going to arrive at Cairo. So when you arrive at Cairo, we will pick you up from the airport, take you to the hotel, Sheraton Cairo, right there. You don't have to worry about any of this. So airport transfers are included. Pick you up, you get ready for the welcome dinner that evening. The next day is going to be the Giza pyramids and the Sphinx. And this is when you have an opportunity, if you want to take advantage of the camel ride, you can do that. If you want to take advantage of climbing into the pyramids, you can do that as well, as you heard Miss Ann sharing. Then on day 3, catch a flight down to Luxor, and that's when you go to Karnak Temple, and now you're on the Nile East Bank, and you're going to, from there, you'll get on the cruise boat. It's a river cruise boat. That's right. So you get to stay in Cairo, but now you get a chance to cruise down the Nile River. You spend the night. And so day 3, you'll go to Karnak Temple that evening. You'll have a chance to do the tour, Luxor by night on horse carriage. Day 4, you'll get a chance to do the Luxor West Bank in the Valley of the Kings. That's where the hot air balloon opportunity is. The hot air balloon opportunity comes into play on that day. There we go. And then you get a chance to go to King Tut's tomb and a lot of other king's tombs in that particular area. Then you get a chance to go to day 5, Edfu Temple and Kamumbo Temple, and you learn more and more about the history of what was happening in Egypt. And then on day 6, we cruise down the Nile and we go to Aswan. And you go to an authentic home in Aswan, eat with the family, spend time with the family. I'll show you a clip in a little while so you get some more insight into it. A lot of what you see or hear me talking about here, I'll show you a clip in a second. Then from there, for those who want to go to Abu Simbel, you can go to Abu Simbel, or you can go to Philae Temple, which is right there in Aswan, and we give you the option to select. Then we fly back to Cairo on day 8, and flying back to Cairo, we go to the Egyptian Museum, and that's the one with all the mummies and the sarcophagus, King Tut's, and all the gold, all of that. You get a chance to see at the Egyptian Museum. And then on day 9, the final departure. In between all of this, there's going to be a lot of fun, dancing, just a great family experience as a part of the Black Business School. All of this is what's happening. So if you wonder about some of the accommodations, this is the river cruise. It's the Movenpick Lotus Nile. This is what the rooms look like. This is what the boat looks like. It's a river boat. So this is different from an ocean liner. And then you have here the hot air balloon ride. I encourage everyone to do the hot air balloon ride. It is something special. It is something special to experience. And then again, for all the shoppers, you will be able to shop till you drop. That's right. So that is the experience. Let me take you inside of the experience, and then we'll run down these numbers, and then we'll wrap up with your questions. So take a look at what this experience looks like.
These are lifetime memories that you will carry with you, I'm telling you.
When I went in the pyramid, it's like, okay, I can't make it.
The camels.
Yeah.
Loved walking through the pyramids. My legs are still hurting from it.
Seeking the knowledge and listen to all of you because you are local and you were giving us information, you know, that we probably wouldn't get out there.
Climbing in the pyramids will be, between the pyramids and being on the camel's back, will be the most memorable because I never thought I'd ride a camel.
When I went up in the hot air balloon, it's like something came over me. I felt spiritual.
Because we need to learn about our history and our past.
The original empires, the original kingdoms, the original peoples.
When I came here, I've always wanted to go to South Africa first, but Egypt was perfect for me. I really got to learn the true history of our people.
Well, if you are part of the diaspora, everybody part of the diaspora should come back to the continent.
We know this is our homeland. History books don't have to tell you that. I cannot imagine not one black person not wanting to say, I'm home.
I'll tell you of my story about my trip to Cairo, Egypt. That's all I have to say. Thank you.
There it is. That's all she had to say. And now, here is the rundown so that you understand everything, because it is time for you to go to Egypt and have this experience. So now you see yourself in the videos. You can share your own stories, ATVs, all of that good stuff. You got a chance to see inside of it. It was more. You saw the faces. You saw the people that us. That's who you saw. You saw you. You saw me. And so all of this is a part of the experience, and this is what it looks like. All right, what's included? Round trip flight from New York City to Cairo, and that's on Egypt Air. All meals included except beverages. Staying at the Sheraton Cairo or comparable Sheraton Cairo. And then the Nile River cruise accommodations, the Movenpick Lotus Nile, and that's what I shared with you on this slide right here. Movenpick Lotus Nile. And then all ground transportation, admission to all scheduled activities. What's not included, your passport, your visa on arrival, which is $25, your travel insurance, again, with medical. Just to remind everybody, make sure you do that when you book your trip and get cancel any reason, the cancel any reason option, and that will be, it will remind you of that as well, and I'll share with you that again. And then gratuities, we'll train you, we'll prepare you. Now, this is the thing I want everybody to understand, that with what happened with 2020 and COVID and all of that, prices are going up. So it's not like this is good, the price is going to be going down. And so this is now the time to take advantage of it, because prices are going to be going up. And so the value of everything that I shared with you, and I want to talk about value just for a second, the value, the people that you're going to be around, the experience. As you can tell, that this is not just something that we just whip together. This is something that's bigger. This has more attached to it. The value of this is $12,500. It's really more than that, but to kind of qualify it, all of this with your flight, your meals, your hotel, your cruise accommodations, the ground transportation, the admission to all scheduled activities, the networking and the connection. And I'm talking to people who are business people. Black Business School. You're here to learn about business. And one thing about business is that the value is oftentimes in your network and who you connect with and who you have conversations with. And when you have these conversations, those conversations can be worth tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, millions of dollars. And so one of the things is the people, when they hear and they see this, a certain mindset attracts to it, because they're saying, wait a minute, I get it, I understand. People who want to expand their minds, people who want to do things on a different level, people who want to take advantage of business opportunities that they might not have even known about. That's who's going to attract to this. Those are the people that are going to be a part of this network. And you never know how it all pans out or who you connect with. So when we say the value $12,500, I personally feel that it's worth much more than that. And then when you tack on the education that comes along with it, the unforgettable experiences, and the personal growth, $12,500 is a conservative estimate. And then on top of this, I'm going to give you a free ebook as well. And we talked about that, and we're going to make sure you get the free ebook, How to Quit Your Job and Become an Entrepreneur the Right Way. So all of this comes with this. And then here is a Black Business School special. So the value is $12,500. However, what we'll do for Black Business School, the special, $85.99. Remember that there are payment plans available looking at next year, next August, the 4th through the 12th, 2024. And best of all, only a $199 deposit. You can go to b1voyages.com right now to secure your spaces. Only $199 down. And then, again, $85.99 with the airfare from New York City to Cairo, everything that I talked about, everything I shared with you, the value, $12,500, but we're going to cut this down to $85.99. And this is for you to be a part of the experience and to be in the room, to be in the spaces, to be on the deck having the conversation, to be on the carriage having the conversations, to be in that place, in that space, and around those people, you never know, you may be sitting next to someone or talking to someone who has the ability to help your business expand. I don't know, I can't guarantee that, but if you're not there, then you'll never know. And so that's one of the things that we're saying. In order for us to be empowered as Black people from a business perspective, we have to learn how to network in the appropriate places. And so sometimes the best places to network are in travel environments because other people are searching and other people are looking and wanting to learn and to expand their horizons as well. So now, again, a reminder, only $199 deposit, but you know what? I think we can do a little bit better. If you all take advantage of this, I think we can do a little bit better. Just a little bit better. All right, we're going to throw in King Tut's tomb, Luxor by night, and the Great Pyramid of Cheops. We're going to throw that in. That's an additional value of $500. We're going to throw this in. And again, $85.99 with airfare. But I think we can do a little bit better. If y'all want us to do a little bit better, just type 3 in the chat. Just say, if you think we can do a little bit better, type 3 in the chat. Because y'all can make this happen. If you think we can do a little bit better, type 3 in the chat. If you think we can do a little better, 3 in the chat, 3. I see the 3s coming. Come on, y'all. Come on. I'm getting excited myself. 3 in the chat, 3 in the chat, 3 in the chat. Oh, yeah. Oh, somebody got a whole bunch of 3. Y'all got jokes. Yeah. Somebody like 3. All right, here we go. Let me break it down for you. All right, this is what we're going to do for you. Y'all got to move quick. When I drop this, y'all got to move quick because spaces are limited on this. This is not an unlimited amount of spaces, all right? So when I drop this, I want you to go to b1voyages.com and secure your space. Only $199 down. You'll be able to see the payment plan spelled out in front of you. It's all right there in front of you. No surprises, nothing. You can just take advantage of it. Here is what we're going to do for you right now. There it is, y'all. Take advantage of this before November 18th at 11:59 p.m. $55.99. This includes the airfare, y'all. Come on with it. With the airfare, double occupancy per person, and then single occupancy per person with the international airfare included, $63.99. Child discount, $43.99. And November 18th, coming up on Saturday, 11:59 p.m. But you don't want to wait because you may run out of spaces before then because the spaces are limited. It's only $199 down. That's it. $199 down to secure your space. You got monthly payments. You don't have to pay it all at the same time. The payment schedule is spelled out for you right there in front of you. Before you click submit, you can see it. Go to b1voyages.com and sign up. We are going to have a great time. Now, something I want to make sure that everybody understands, and when you do this, be sure to get your travel insurance to protect your investment, because that's where, in the event that your travel plans change, that's where you will go to get your refund. We do not offer refunds, but get your travel insurance, cancel any reason, and that's where you can file your claim to get your refund. And so that's something I just want to make sure that everybody's clear on, that travel insurance is going to protect you on so many different levels. Please do not travel internationally anywhere in the world without having your travel insurance to protect your investment. We talk about life insurance, especially if you're going to be in business, Black businesses. Oftentimes we go underinsured. In our homes, we go underinsured. We don't have life insurance, health insurance, car insurance. Some of us riding dirty on, no car insurance. And so many of us are traveling with no travel insurance. This is how you protect your investment. And this is how we prepare you for the trip. We have culture trainings that get you ready for the trip. So you're not just flying blind. You're not just coming over here and going to Egypt and not knowing what's happening. We're going to be leading up to this. We're going to have Q&A sessions. You're going to be connected to the team, and they're going to be walking you through this so you know everything that you need to do. Egypt is very easy. E-visa on arrival. No vaccines required. And all you need to do, sign up, get on the plane. We'll explain to you the culture, so you'll be ready for it. You won't have any surprises in that regard. We're going to make sure we do everything with Black excellence and that we do this thing properly, because one, we're trying to forge connections where who knows what comes out of this. This is bigger than a trip again, and we want you to be a part of it. Don't miss out on this because of fear. Don't miss out on this because of hesitations. That's one of the things I would always miss out on opportunities because I was hesitating, I was contemplating, and I'm trying to talk to this person and get this person's thought and that person's thought. And there's nothing wrong with getting good advice, but then I would overthink myself out of an opportunity. And then I would hear about somebody else who took advantage of it, and next thing you know, they had a great time. So with this is just something where you're able to see the return on your investment immediately because you're having the experience. It's not like you have to wait on the emotional and the physical return on the investment. Now, as far as businesses are concerned, we can't tell you how that's going to play out, but what we can tell you is that you're going to be in an environment with other like-minded people who want to expand themselves as well. And so there's a value to that. So with that said, I ask you this question. How much will it cost you to stay within the boundaries? How much will it cost you to stay within the boundaries? Don't miss this opportunity. Again, all what you have to do is go to b1voyages.com and take advantage of it with a $199 deposit. That's it. Holds your space, monthly payments, and you can make it happen. That's the one thing I know. We've spent money on so many different things in life and that weren't necessarily the most beneficial. But we had a good time, though. We had a good time. But I say to you this, I have dedicated my life to making sure that my people have the best experiences that I can curate. And so that's one of the things, and I'm honored to have the Black Business School and Dr. Boyce and his entire team entrust me with this opportunity. And I ask you to give us the opportunity to share this with you and your family. We're going to do our very best to bring you the very best because there's so many things that they say about us. But what we're here to do is to show exactly what we can do, and we honor our ancestors in the U.S., in the Caribbean, in South America, in Brazil, and Central America, in the places that in Haiti and other places they were dispersed throughout the world. We honor them by these efforts. And we honor our ancestors on the continent of Africa whose villages were destroyed and whose economies were destroyed and kingdoms were destroyed at the hands of many players. And so now as we go back and we get our minds right, we pass a different mindset down to the next generation. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some questions. I noticed some questions in the Q&A. So I'm going to answer some questions, and then we're going to wrap this up because guess what? Who's going? That's what I want to know. I want you to type in the chat, I'm going. If you're going, you're going to meet me in Cairo. We're going to meet Dr. Boyce in Cairo. If that's how it's going to go, type I'm going in the chat because that's what we're looking for. I'm going. All right. Let's see. All right. So let's see. I see some questions. There you go. Deborah, there we go. Okay. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Keep it coming. Who's going? All right. Let me y'all moving fast on this. I'm going. Good grief. All right. That's what's up. Deborah. All right. I hope I pronounced your name right. Anita, Juanita, Courtney, Barbara. All right. I don't want to mispronounce your name, but you're Yahoo. I hope I said it right. Please forgive me. Charge it to my heart. You know. And please add your questions to the Q&A. I'm gonna come over to the Q&A. Pamela's going. Machine is going. All right. Angela. All right. Get ready. Sheila, Eric. Come on, y'all. Y'all about to book everything up. Y'all, go ahead. Let me find out. Karen's going. Angelina's going. Doreen's going. Gracie's going. Kay's going. Kibby's going. Marilyn's going. Come on now. That's what I'm talking about. Donna's going. Thomas going. Hugh. Rochelle. All right. I see it. I see Elaine. Come on. Hey, what's up, Elaine? All right. I was close. Michael. Curtis. That's what I'm talking about. Regina. Valerie V is going. Now, when y'all see me, when we over there now, don't be getting all brand new on a brother now. Don't get brand new. Y'all come on over and give me some show me some love. That's what I'm talking about. Jewel is going. Renthone is going. I hope I said it right. All right. Hey, Doreen, minimum $300 to $500, but I'm hopping over to the Q&A. I'm going to the Q&A. Please don't put the questions in the chat because it moves fast. Y'all know that. Hey, Tina, that's what I'm talking about. Now, y'all go put the deposit down. Don't wait on this thing because what'll happen is y'all will go and think. You get laid down in the bed and tomorrow come around and you start thinking and stuff. So make sure y'all do that before y'all go to bed tonight. All right. Okay, great. Sean asked the question, are there accommodations for those with walkers or canes and limited walking? Yes. Now, there's some places you will not be able to go just because you're not going up into the pyramid, but you can go to the pyramid. And we've had people with wheelchairs, and we've been able to help accommodate them. Yeah. Uh-oh, I see you, Denise. I see you. All right, let's see here. All right. Uh-huh. Okay. Somebody said, Daryl said, I fully understand what you say is true. I cruised around South Africa with 40 black people in December 2022. I returned to the U.S. and resigned from my job. Thank you, South Africa. See what I'm saying? See, you never know where it's going to happen, how it's going to happen. Are the flights nonstop? Yes, from New York to Cairo, it is a nonstop flight on Egypt Air. Let's see. Yeah, if you want to extend the trip, then let us know. Let's have a conversation about that if you want to extend it as far as the airfare is concerned. All right, I have a very restricted plant-based diet due to food allergies and sensitivities. Are we able to accommodate? Absolutely. All right. Let's see. Deborah asked about the power wheelchair. Now, we do not have power wheelchair options, but we can have someone assist as far as pushing with a manual wheelchair. And I'm going to remind everybody that this expires now. Don't drag your feet on us because these prices go up. So come Saturday, you want to make sure that you've taken advantage of this because more and more people are going. I know everybody's thinking that people are not going to Egypt, but they're going to Egypt. Best believe, because the war is happening in Israel. The war is not happening in Egypt. Are we going to have? Are we going to from crack of dawn until late at night? Now, Egypt is a busy trip. I'm gonna let you know. Anonymous attendee sent that. Egypt is a busy trip, so yes, you will be walking a lot. You'll probably, for those who are going to be walking, you're probably going to get about 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day, just to kind of get put into perspective. But it's everyone loves it and everybody does it, so they're like, hey, they do what they got to do. Just like Miss Ann. Miss Ann said, hey, she lost 32 pounds and got up in that pyramid. We do not arrange extended days, just to let you know. We don't do that. Let's see. Everett asked what's not included. Your passport, your visa, your travel insurance, those are not included. But everything else, the international airfare and all ground transportation, hotel accommodations, meals, except your beverages, and all of that is included. And your money for your souvenirs is not. All right, it's going to be warm. Sean asked the question, what is the weather like in Egypt that time of year? It's going to be pretty warm. It's coming on the summertime, so it's definitely going to be warm. Yep, someone asked what's the weather like in August. All right, let me go back to the slide with the prices. Someone asked me to do that real quick. No problemo. All right, no problem, family. We got you covered. So you can see everything, and I'm going to make sure that you see the, take advantage of this, November 18th. There we go. And so we'll leave that up for a second. Hey, Dr. Shawnee, that is per person, $55.99 per person. Is drinking allowed in Egypt? Yes. Hey, Elaine, how you doing? Yes. Dr. Shawnee, August 4th through the 12th, 2024. And you can access it at b1voyages.com. As far as trip insurance is concerned, it varies depending on the type of policy that you get. So that is, I just want you to be, it just varies. And so since we don't sell insurance, we can't quote it. So it just varies. Let's see. All right. There you go. Come on, Kimberly. That's what I'm talking about. August 4th through the 12th, 2024. That's right. And yes, Alana asked a question about the upgrade for the flight. And this is, again, subject to change because There is a $3,000 upgrade, but the longer we wait, the price is going to go up. So if you want to do the business class upgrade, that's something that is offered. And you can see all of that at b1voyages.com. Hey, Pamela, how you doing? Can you use your existing travel discounts as far as flight rewards? Not with this package. It's only if you did something independent of the package could you do that. And all of this is at B1 Voyages. B1 Voyages. You'll be able to see all of the options at B1 Voyages. Hey, Eugene, yes, you can. So let's say, for example, if you do get someone to sign up and you're starting off as single occupancy, but you get a double occupant, yes, you can make that switch if there's availability, yes. You get 3 meals per day. That's another question that came in. How many meals are provided? 3 meals per day. I'm going to come back on the screen here real quick. All right. 3 meals per day. I believe they're going to send this video back out again. I will confirm with the Black Business School just to see. Don't quote me on that just yet. All right. Okay, so hey, Doreen, how you doing? So when it comes to the exchange rate, you're going to be doing the Egyptian pound to the US dollar. And so that is whatever the rates are when you do your exchange, that happens at that moment. So that's not included as far as the currency exchange. Yes, you can, for those who are signing up, yes, you can upload the passport information later. Just put applied for. Oh, we're going to be doing more of these trips, but we want to make sure this one happens properly and now. So that's why I said don't overthink it. Just be a part of this one. And then next thing you know, we just continue rolling them out. As far as travel insurance, someone asked the travel insurance, can we get it as a group? No, you cannot. That is something each individual needs to do on their own. All right. Hey, Marilyn, how you doing? The question Marilyn has is, what type of visa did you mention? Visa on arrival. So when you get there, you pay your $25 and you have your visa on arrival. All right. All right, how long is the flight from New York City to Cairo? It's going to be about 11, 12 hours. You're going to be up there for a little while, but it's all good. I was just on a plane yesterday from Turkey, 11 hours. I survived it. I was afraid to fly, y'all. Y'all don't understand. Y'all don't understand. I wouldn't get on no planes. I was scared to fly. And now I'm flying. Somebody had a joke, said, Jay, you fly back and forth to Africa like you catching an Uber. You know, that's what I'm saying. This is one of those benefits that happens. You don't even realize it. I didn't know that this person existed. So, but that just to answer your question, as far as the flight time. And I'm sure you can, I'm sure there won't be, if they send it back out, I'm sure it won't be a problem for you to share. Elaine said, what happens if someone refuses to come back to the U.S.? You got to talk to Egypt about that. All right. Hey, Barbara. How you doing? All right, so what we want everybody to understand, and this is, since this is the Black Business School, I can have a different kind of conversation with this group because y'all understand, y'all in business. And so when you're in business, you know, you have liability insurance, you have all kinds of different insurances. But when it comes to traveling, you want to make sure you have travel insurance with medical. In the event that you have, you know, a medical emergency or anything like that, that's your coverage. We think that Blue Cross may cover us, or you know, whatever the different programs are, you know, different health insurances in the U.S. But a lot of times these foreign countries will not accept American medical insurance simply because they might not get paid. You know, so they want to have a carrier that they know, and that's why international travel insurance is so important. In the event that something happens, you might decide, you know, I don't feel like going. Okay, well, if you have the right policy, then that's where you file the claim. That's how all of this plays out. And so what I'm saying, as far as a business person, I'm preparing us. We had a gentleman who went on a trip, and he was just walking and broke his ankle. But because he listened to sessions like this, he had the insurance, the travel insurance with the medical. He was able to get taken care of. He was able to get the care he needed and get back home and do what he needed to do. So that's how we are looking out for your best interest, to say, listen, be prepared for all of this. We don't want you to go traveling halfway around the world making a $5,000 investment. Y'all hear this DC stuff going on in the background now. I'm gonna let it go on by. All right, there we go. I'm sure y'all can hear all of that. So we don't want you to spend all of this money and then not insure yourself. So we're demonstrating our business philosophy by showing you and preparing you to be on this trip and to have the adequate insurance in the event that something changes. That's how we do it. All right, let's see. All right. So the upgrade option is available, and so that's on b1voyages.com. Okay, great. Okay, Miss Deborah Ann. All right, Miss Deborah, come on. We're gonna make sure if you come, we'll make sure you're taken care of. You don't have to pay anybody to do that. We got you. Don't worry. I want you to have the experience. All right, so come on and have the experience. As far as the package, hey, Levon, are all flights from New York only, which means you have to fly into New York for the trip. For the package that we're selling, yes. Diana, hey, how you doing, Diana? How quickly do you have to start the passport application? I would recommend doing it as soon as possible because, backlog, people are traveling. People are traveling, y'all. I'm trying to tell you. That's why we as black people need to go ahead and get our passports. We need to handle our business because I'm telling y'all, it's business out here in this world. People making boatloads of money. We thinking we got it going on in the U.S. We do, but if you take what we have in the U.S. and know how to connect it to the right opportunity outside of the U.S. and get into some different, whatever it is that works for you. So go ahead and get the passports. Do what you got to do. I have 2 passports. I have a passport for Sierra Leone, and I have a passport for the U.S. And I was able to get Sierra Leone citizenship because I genetically linked to Sierra Leone. I didn't know that, but guess what? That allows me to go all throughout West Africa and do different things in West Africa. So what I'm saying is that get your passport, get your U.S. passport, and any other passport you can come across because it opens up opportunities. All right, let's see. Hey, Kim, it is definitely in the 80s, high 80s and 90s, that time of year for temperature. All right. Hey, Deborah. Yes. The upgrade is for business class, and you're going to be looking about a 12-hour flight, and we use Egypt Air. Let's see. You should not have to pay any taxes on the items duty-free. So just confirm. All right. Hey, Michael, how you doing? Let's check what the current exchange rate is for the Egyptian pound versus the U.S. dollar. Let's see, our U.S. dollar to Egyptian pound. I'm using a website called xe.com. Just so you all know, we'll cover this all in the training. We're going to make sure y'all ready. You will not have any problems. I mean, that group you saw, all right. So we're going to do 100 U.S. dollars. All right, so 100 U.S. dollars amounts to 3,100 Egyptian pounds. 100 U.S. dollars, 3,100 Egyptian pounds. So that just kind of lets you know, but it's it lines up with the economy. So we'll walk that down for you. Okay, hey Denise, how you doing? Okay, let's see. The upgrade is a business class upgrade. So that's what it is. So you get to fly business class. Hope that answered your question. If not, put it on back in the Q&A. We'll get to it. Want to make sure you got your question answered. All right, good question, Kim. Kim came in itinerary-wise. What time do the days typically start for us, and when do they typically wind down? Well, some days are 9-ish, but you do have about 3 or 4 days in there where you're getting up about 4 o'clock in the morning. So you do have some early mornings, just to let you know that. Hey, Alana, Egypt Air, just for everybody, Egypt Air is the airline. All right. All right. Let's see here. I'm going to answer one question here. There we go. All right. All right. Let's see. Okay, I'm looking through here. Some of these, if you go to the B1 Voyages, it will tell you everything as far as like the rate. You put them together, like say you select a child and you select an adult, it'll show you, it'll calculate it accurately right there in front of you. Let's see. Hey, Juanita, I'm sure we can work that out. That won't be a problem. We can get that added. All right, there's no code for the $199 deposit. You go there and it should let you just do $199 right there on the spot. And that's all you put down, $199. It holds your spot. What is the difference between Visa and Passport? Okay, Visa is basically a license that allows you to enter a country. And a passport is what allows you to leave your country. So basically you have a US passport or whatever passport it is you have, that allows you to leave and go around the world. A visa is for a particular country that says that the country is allowing you to enter. So Egypt then has the e-visa for $25. They say this is now, we're allowing you to come into our country for this a period of time, these 90 days or 30 days or whatever it is. And then you are able to, that country is saying it's okay. So you can have a US passport, but if you don't have a visa for the country will deny you entry. But you can't leave the US without a US passport. So the passport is the license to leave and to return back into the US. But the visa is the license to let you in. All right. Here's a good question. If we are a party of 3, do we enter the number of people as 2 first and then book the additional one separately? The online tool seems to be putting 3 of us as double occupancy otherwise. Is it 3? I guess we need to know the details as far as, is it 3 singles or, because if you're doing 3, I guess we just need to send us a message and we can get that cleared up.
Excuse me, Jay. I was about to say, can I chime in for a minute?
Yeah, go ahead.
Hi, everyone. I'm Chanel, Program Director. Just in the background, I see your questions have been coming through. We're excited that you are interested in looking forward to the trip. So I just wanted to answer a few of the questions. So although the deposit is $199, you do receive that option before you proceed with checkout to either pay the full amount or the deposit, but there are processing fees associated with SquadTrip, which is the website and carrier for organizing the trip. So $199 will eventually be, I think, $206 for the deposit, and then thereafter, your first payment, official payment, will begin in December, on December 15th. Those dates are usually based off of when you enroll, and then they take place the 15th of every month. So if you need to switch up your date or anything like that, just please email our support team and we'll look into that for you. We just need to confirm with the organizers, SquadTrip, of how to proceed with that. But yes, you do have that option to pay the installments.
They rolling in, Chanel.
Yes, so I was trying to keep up with some of them. So if we missed your question, then you can feel free to just drop it in the chat again. But I do just want to congratulate and welcome aboard Jermaine Fletcher. We look forward to having you joining us, Jermaine. I see Deborah Evans. So Deborah, her and her guests will be coming on the B1 Voyages trip. So we look forward to seeing you there. And Denise, we also have Denise Mitchell, I believe, who will be also joining us on the trip. So yes, space is limited. We are taking 100 guests on this trip to join Dr. Boyce, Dr. Alicia, Jay Cameron himself, and his amazing trip organizers. And you got to see the experience that members are actually having in real time with their tour guides. So it's going to be a special and personable experience. So don't hesitate on joining us. I'm so just overjoyed to just see the images that you shared with us tonight. Like that was way more than I could have expected. So just thank you for that, Jay. Did we have any more questions that you still needed to get around to before we head out of here?
Well, I'm looking here. Someone says, let's see. All right, so there are some folks, and what I want to encourage everybody to do, because it's like a flood of people coming in. So, and everyone sees, because if you want to upgrade, just shoot the message in on the email right there on Squad Trip, and they will make sure that all of this happens for you. So, because Deborah says she wants to upgrade, and
yeah, Deborah, please email our support team, and that should be listed in the contact us section on the website. But our support email is support@theblackbusinessschool.com. And I see that my lovely colleague Shauna has made that available in the chat, so you can reference it there.
Yeah. Do we purchase Dahira? I think I got it right. If I mispronounce y'all know, charge it to my heart. Charge it to my head, not to my heart. And then when I meet you in person on the in Egypt, then y'all come and tell me how to walk it down for me, and I'll always remember it. All right. So, do we purchase our own travel insurance? Yes. You definitely want to purchase your own travel insurance. So that is your responsibility. If someone's telling you they're going to purchase travel insurance for you, be careful. That's what I'll say. All right.
So the installment fees can also vary. You can select how much time you have on your installment plan. So it just depends on, how many tickets you purchased and the installment plan that you choose. I saw Rose had a question about the installments.
Welcome, Denise. I see Denise signed up.
Welcome. Yes, and there are fees associated. There are processing fees associated with all payments. So that's about, I think, $7 or $6 extra. So yes.
And yes, someone asked, is the website safe for paying? Yes.
Mm-hmm. And
all right, let's see.
And if you have any questions throughout this presentation, or even with the Black Business School, feel free to reach out to our customer experience team. They are actually waiting and on the line now for any questions. So just email support@theblackbusinessschool.com.
Yes, airfare, international airfare is included. I saw that question come in from anonymous attendee on the Q&A. And Kim asked a question, is there any reason a country, say for example, Egypt, would deny someone visa upon arrival? Just wondering about someone stuck getting traveling there, not being approved for visa on arrival. If you're able to get out of the U.S., then and as long as you haven't committed any crimes in Egypt, or you're not a wanted person, then you should be okay getting into Egypt. Never heard of anyone getting denied a visa going into Egypt. Egypt is a tourism country, so they want you to come. That they're built for that. That's their bread and butter. Oh, some people asked about the ebook. You all are going to email the ebook, right,
Yes,
Chanel?
so everyone that stays till the end tonight will receive the ebook, and of course we will make it available for those that enroll and purchase for the trip, as you'll receive a bonus bundle content within the Black Business School. So that's where you'll also receive that extra bonus in a follow-up email in a text once you sign up for the B1 Voyages experience. And we will be hosting monthly informational sessions for questions and just getting everyone prepared and geared up for the trip. So you'll find all that information once you receive your bonus bundle within the Black Business School. That'll have more details of just gearing up for the trip, and a bunch of other bonus content that ranges in investing, business, and children's content, just to give you some information and content to chew on as we lead up and prepare for the trip. And you can enjoy it while you're there on a trip, so we'll do a little bit of business and pleasure for sure. So yes, feel free to sign up as the promotion expires within 48 hours. I did see Christine. I don't know if we answered Christine's question in regards to the land only. She wanted to know will there be a change in my cost as a single by arranging my own international. So yeah.
Yeah, you can actually, when you go to the to B1 Voyages and you click on it and you see the link, it spells everything out as far as your trip options with the airfare, without the airfare. So if you want to do land only and book your own airfare, all of that is right there spelled out. You'll see everything, the entire list is right there. And let me see if I... Let's see what else. I think we... Okay, August 4th through the 12th, 2024. Okay. There we go, 2024.
Okay, so I may have it listed as August 2nd on the website, so that may be why students are
okay.
But yes, so it'll actually be August 4th through the 12th with the flight leaving on the 4th from New York.
Yeah, well, let me go back and look at the...
I think that's why I had the second, because I was basing it off the time.
Oh, I see. Okay, I got it. I got it. I see what happened there. Okay.
If that's
I got it.
a part of the confusion, I just wanted to be clear on when we were leaving and departing from New York.
Got it. So that would be on, let me see. All right, so that would actually be on the 3rd.
Okay.
3rd.
All right, so yeah, we will be heading out on the 3rd.
And arriving, yeah.
And returning back to New York on the 14th.
On the 12th. On the 12th.
Oh, I'm sorry, on the 12th. Yes, sir.
There you go.
All right, so just I think we've addressed most of the questions.
Looking here. We do not pair anyone. And then some folks are asking about the replay going out.
Yes, so they'll receive a follow-up email for the replay. And it'll also have your ebook for staying and hanging out with us tonight, as we greatly appreciate your time and just, you know, being a great participant and just being engaged during this presentation, as we value your time with us.
Look at this. Thank you. Wow. I'm just looking at all the comments and all of the amazing. Black Business School, y'all are something special. That's what I want to say. And I can't wait to meet you all in Egypt. I know many of you, and we're going to keep coming back. I mean, this is going to be really special because what we're doing is getting outside of the norm. You know, and that's something that, you know, when you start getting outside of the norm and you start doing things differently, it just takes you to a different level. And that's what we're looking forward to. And everyone who signed up tonight, we're going to do our very, very best. And those who are signing up, maybe calling some of your friends and family, and you're trying to say, hey, come on, y'all, let's go. Bring the family. It's okay. Bring the family. If you have questions, you can definitely reach out and get those questions answered. It's okay. To be able to reach out and have the questions answered. We're going to take you through the training sessions and all of that. But the one thing I say is this: don't wait. Had I waited, that's what that whole video was about. Had I waited, none of this would be happening right now for me, you know, and being able to share this with you. So now for you, if you wait, what could you be missing out on? So let's not miss out on it. Let's not be late to the party. Let's not miss out on opportunities. Let's take advantage of the opportunities that are right in front of us. And this is one of them. And who knows what it's going to open up next. So that's the deal. All right. So anything else, Janelle?
Yeah, I just wanted to, I think that Martha, I apologize if I am mispronouncing your name. I'm very big on names. I think that she wanted to know, is there a connection flight from Florida?
Well, we don't do the connection flights. We just handle the flights from New York. I'm sure if you fly into JFK from Florida, then that can, you know, that would be, you know, that'll connect you to the flight that's leaving from New York.
Okay, and if anyone is having any trouble with just making purchase, logging in, feel free to just email our support team. As we will get that email, we'll be able to get you into the right place and get you where you need to be in terms of accessing your account or purchasing. So that email is support@theblackbusinessschool.com. Yeah, payment plans will be available once you select the trip, the ticket that you would like to purchase. The next screen will then ask you about add-ons, and then you can select the best payment plan options for yourself. So that's before checkout. All right. And the last installment payment, I believe, is in July, as we wanted all payments to be in by July. So it depends on when you purchase, how many installments you can have as an option, the amount and things like that. So you'll have options before checkout to select your installment plan. And the installment automatic charges take place on the 15th of the month. So that would start December 15th. All right. Any final questions, you can submit those. And if not, then we will get ready to head out. I wanted to also welcome Donna. Donna is also joining us on the B1 Voyages trip, Journey to Egypt. Welcome, Donna. We're so glad to have you.
Welcome, Donna.
Let's see. So you would have to make your add-on purchases now, but if you would like to add on some other items once your purchase is made, just email our support team and we'll get you taken care of. We'll certainly make sure that we find a way, Latanya. Lucia. So that email is support@theblackbusinessschool.com.
Hey, Latanya, yes, you can break up the payments. Payment plan is available.
Yes, so if you pay up front, then it will be.
Oh, I see the question.
Yes, it would be less in the end in terms of processing fees and things like that. So, yeah. All right. You're welcome, Deborah. You're welcome, Latanya. Thank you so much for everyone just spending this time with us this evening. Jay, I mean, it's always a pleasure. You showed out tonight, and we greatly appreciate that. Like, if you all can, just please give us some virtual round of applause for Jay this evening as he put in overtime in a very special presentation for you all this evening. I know he mentions he did the A, B, and C presentation, but this here just totally just knocked my socks off. So thank you so much for all that you have done thus far. And we just really look forward to this experience of just returning to the motherland. It's going to be great. So we're so glad to see you all come out tonight. And Jay, do you have any final words before we go?
And that's all I have to say, everybody. Don't overthink it. Don't overthink it, y'all. Overthinking. That's all. If you want to go, go. That's that. Treat it like that sweet potato pie, y'all. Come on. So if you want to go, go. And you hear my heart. You see the videos. You see the commitment to this. So you understand that this is what it's all about. I want us to have this experience. And so we are inviting you as a part of the Black Business School to have this experience. So come on, let's do it. Go ahead and sign up, b1voyages.com. Stop overthinking it, and we'll see you in Egypt.
Thank you so much. And you have a great evening, everyone. Bye-bye.